welcome to Jiller's Kitchen. This episode is dedicated to banana bread. It's one of the easiest recipes. It's one of my favorite breakfast food items. So let's list out all the ingredients that are required to make almond banana bread. So you need half a cup of light brown sugar and half a cup of granulated sugar. I've actually mixed both of them in together. Need about 1 1/4 cups of slivered almonds, but you can use chocolate chip, pecans, walnuts, whatever you like. I love almonds. 3 eggs, of course bananas. The 3 bananas or 3 large bananas should give you about like 2 cups of mashed banana that you need for the banana bread. Half a cup of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and about 2 cups of all-purpose flour. So let's start by mixing the half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and I'm just going to mix it really well. And I'm going to leave this on the side because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to beat our 3 eggs . And this is the last and the final egg. So, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to beat this using a egg beater. Now that the eggs are beaten well, I'm going to add both my sugars into it, half a cup of granulated and half a cup of light brown sugar. You know, folks, the one trick that I have learned is that if you leave your brown sugar tightly packed and in the refrigerator, it will not catch moisture or clump. Now that the sugar is mixed well, I'm going to add my half a cup of vegetable oil. Slowly pour it in. Now this is a mixture which is well beaten together of eggs, sugar, and vegetable oil. To this, I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Let's have. There we go. Beat this in. Okay. Now it seems as if the mixture is well mixed together along with the vanilla extract. I just beat it a couple more minutes just so that, you know, the mixture becomes fluffy and light and airy. So I'm going to rest this for like a minute while I mash up my bananas. So the more ripe it is, the more better it is. Okay, here goes my first banana. What I do is I roughly break it into little pieces. It's easier to mash with a fork. You can use, if it's like large bananas, really large long bananas, you can use 2. If you really like the taste of bananas in your banana bread, of course, then you can use 3, 4 bananas. But don't go any more than 4 because you don't want the batter to be too light. So let me mash it in. And this is the last ingredient that is actually put into the mix. Okay, now that the bananas are mashed properly, I'm going to leave that to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flour and put it into the egg, sugar, and the oil mix slowly. And this recipe, I have to say, is for Pravina. She and I used to be co-workers, kind of sort of way back in the day. And she reminded me that I took banana bread to work, and she absolutely loved it. So here you go, Pravina. This is for you. Please make and let me know how it turns out. So I keep swirling just so that I'm not over mixing, but yet mixing the batter in properly. So now that's done. I'm going to add a little bit more. Guys, while I'm mixing this, let me tell you how I got introduced to desserts. It was all thanks to my mom and dad, I should say. It was like way back in the day when I was a little itsy girl. I remember my parents trying to do Christmas cakes, and my dad would do the mixing part while my mother would hand him all the ingredients to be mixed. And my job was to actually lick to make sure everything tasted fine. So I guess my sweet tooth, my introduction to baking started from there. And it's been going on. So now that this batter is mixed properly, I'm going to add my mashed up bananas to this. Mix it in gently, or fold it in gently. Guys, the other thing that you can always use is dark brown sugar instead of light brown sugar. Light brown sugar just makes it lighter, dark will make it a little bit more darker. Other than that, I really don't know the difference between both of them, but I have made it using both light and dark, and it tasted the same to me, and it tasted yummy both times. So if you don't like a lighter consistency, you can always use dark brown sugar. And now that this is mixed, you want to make sure that you scrape the bottom properly to make sure that everything is mixed in. Now, the last step, the almonds. And of course, my tasting. Here we go, just to make sure it's sweet enough. Yummy. But you don't want to do this because it does have raw eggs and it can cause stomach pains. So be careful. Now I'm going to add my slivered almonds. You can add 1 1/4 cups, or you can add a little bit more depending upon the crunch factor that you like. I actually like a little bit extra almonds in my banana nut bread or almond banana bread. So I, usually tend not to measure and just add a little too much. Okay, now that the batter is completely mixed, I'm going to pour this into my baking tray, which I have, like bakers, you already know what to do, which is just I put a little bit of Pam in here, sprayed a little bit of Pam, and dusted it with all-purpose flour. And this will actually prevent the batter from sticking to the bottom. If you don't want to do this, and you don't want to really clean the pan, the best thing to do is cut a parchment paper to this exact measurement and pour the batter over it. So then all you got to do is lift it once the bread is ready. So here we go. Let me just grab a spatula just so that I can pour my batter in perfectly. I don't want to waste anything in here. There we go. And your oven needs to be preheated up to 350 degrees for even baking. There we go. Now that the batter is poured into the baking pan, follow it to the oven. The oven is preheated to 350, and I'm going to leave it in the middle rack right here. And just a little tidbit. People are very calorie conscious these days, and of course portion control. You can always put this in muffin pan and bake it. So that way you're only eating a muffin, and on your cheat days, 2 muffins. So we'll wait for about 20-25 minutes till the banana bread is done. We'll insert a toothpick to see if it comes out clean. So it's 20 minutes. Let's see. There goes the test. Maybe a couple more minutes. Okay, it's been a couple more minutes, and my toothpick came out clean, so it's time to take it out. Look at this. Yum, yum. It smells so yummy. So I'm going to leave it on the cooling rack, and once it's completely cooled is when we can enjoy. If you cut it while it's hot, it will crumble. So I hope everybody will try to make this banana bread, almond banana bread, and enjoy a breakfast muffin or a piece of bread. And please don't forget to watch my videos and subscribe. All the products used in these videos will be put in, so you would know where you can easily find those. Thank you.